So this is my very first YouTube video that I'm making with a very pure intention to upload on YouTube and spread more joy and positivity. With a very humble intention, I was like, what to do, what should I say? Everything is available everywhere on all platforms. So we all know everything. It's all about emphasizing, repeating, saying, implementing in our lives. So I was just sitting in my room this morning, surfing internet, and I thought, let's do this. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked, what one code that everybody should know? One powerful code that can potentially bring, joy, peace, and love in many lives that everyone should know. One code. And I'm going to read that code and I'm going to break into two parts and we're going to extend and go more deep. Okay? So the quote that popped out was this one. The quote says, it was by Charles R. Swindoll. I don't know that guy, but he said something very powerful that we all know and we must have heard, but we just fail to implement. The quote says, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Does it make any sense? I'll read it and repeat again. So life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. So this quote reminds us that our perspective and attitude play a significant role in how we experience life's ups and downs. It encourages us to focus on our reaction, choices, and the positive aspects of life, ultimately leading to greater joy and happiness. And what do you want ultimately? We need these two things, joy and happiness, right? We all live. We don't like suffering. We don't like pains, right? So let's break this code in two parts and try to add more words and understanding that will make better sense, so we can implement it easily and impactfully. Okay? So part one is life is 10% what happens to us. Let's go deeper into that. So this part, life is 10% that happens to us. This part actually acknowledges a very small part of this whole code. It just says it's just 10% what's happening to our overall life, and it's the reaction which is more. So the events and the circumstances, both favorable and unfavorable, challenging, are inevitable part of our life. This is very basic and very simple, but it is so hard when we are facing some challenges and hard time. We should understand that some circumstances and challenges are just inevitable, and believe me, those changes and circumstances are just 10% of your life, and it totally depends on you how you react to it and everything else, right? So we cannot control every situation of our life, and sometimes event occurs and it is just out of our influence or control, and that's okay. We just have to face, learn, and move on. We can't keep on mourning, crying about life, or we can't comparing. Comparing is really very silly, to compare your life to other lives. You have no idea what that guy or has gone through. Just believe that everyone is believe that everybody here, we can't read everyone's mind, but everyone here is on a war. Okay? So be kind to one another and spread love and joy and positivity. That should be your motto. We all are human beings and we all deserve love, respect, and our dignity. Right? So that's the first part. And which is, I want to, The external factors that's happening to us are just 10%, okay? Which is a very little percentage of your overall experience of life. So, part number 2, which is very important to understand, 90% of the things, depends on our reaction, how we react to it. That's a huge percentage, 90%. Basically, everything is most of the things is in your hand, in your control. Just ignore, just overcome what you can't control, and just focus, have a mindset of focusing on the things that you control, which are in your hand, right? So let's break this into more detail. The majority of our emotional and psychological well-being is determined by how we interpret and respond to events that unfold. Our reaction, thoughts, attitude, and choices plays much larger role in shaping our overall happiness and satisfaction. That is very important. Our reaction, thoughts, and attitudes plays much larger role in our life, what's happening to us, to our satisfaction. Even the difficult situation, we have choice how to respond and how to perceive it. So, in simple terms, the quote encourages us to focus on aspects of life rather than mourning about the things that we can't control, crying over the things that is not in our hand. We can't change everything that happens to us. What we can change or what we can control is in our hand, is our choice, how we react. That's a very important part. So by maintaining and developing positive and resilient mindset, we can really drive our life with a greater grace into more happiness and more peace and more joy. Yeah, so that's your choice, and you have to control, and you have to shape, and you have to work hard on train your mind how to react. Don't react too quick, right? Take some time, think, have mindfulness, practice mindfulness, because a quick reaction during your anger or the situation of your disgrace, it's just going to end up in worse thing, and we don't want to regret any moments in our life. So to avoid this, think when you react, okay? Think twice, take a pause, practice mindfulness, yeah, and don't blame others, or because of her, because of him. No, just have a mindset that anything happens in your life, bring it to your own center point, blame yourself. Why have you fallen in this situation? What's going on? So have this kind of positive mindset. That's very, very important. Actually, I want to summarize what I've said, that things will happen that you have not planned. Things will happen that will bring you down. Things will happen that are just inevitable. You can't change, Life's sometimes unfair, and you don't have to always victimize yourself. You just rather, do something what is in your control. And what is in your control, how to react. So react peacefully, react positively, and have a perspective, right? That your life is in your control. So if you practice this thing, I think most of the problems will, you will figure out, and things will be solved, and you will eventually live a very positive, impactful, and amazing life. And we all have to live that. We are here to live happily, joyfully, and positively. And that's all for today's video. That was my first video. I'm very happy that I've made it. I don't know if I've done a good job, bad job, this job, that job. I don't care. My goal here was to make a video, my first very intended video, and upload on my YouTube, send it to my mom and dad, send it to the people for whom I care about, and spread as much as positivity and love as much as I can, right? So I hope you have all enjoyed. If you like my video, And thank you so much for watching it. And I will bring on more content, more positive content, a bit more impactful. And I'm sorry if anything went wrong with the editing, my video, this, that, audio, whatever. I will try and keep on improving. This was my first. Forgive me. And you guys live a very impactful and happy, joyful life, okay? Thank you so much. Much love. Bye bye.